Hey everybody, this is Erman Baradi here. Thank you so much for tuning in here with HorrOrigins. As always, we connect with amazing guest speakers in the film industry in the horror space. And today we have Molly Quinn, who executive producer and stars in Agnes, which hits theaters and video on demand on December 10th. Is that right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Friday. It's
I was trying to
crazy.
memorize that. So how you doing
You
today,
did
Molly?
great. I'm good. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for being here. It's coming out in a few days, so thank you so much for your time. And I would love to know, as a fellow filmmaker, you are actually a multi hyphenate. You not only produce the film, but you are also starring in it as Sister Mary. Talk about the process of having these different hats on this project.
uh, it's it's a lot of work. You're there at the beginning of the day to make sure that everything runs smoothly. And then you also have, your work as an actor where you're having to get ready for the scene, go through hair and makeup, rehearse with your fellow actors. And then, as Mary, she's basically in every scene, but anytime I wasn't, I was still there, making sure that everyone felt comfortable and that everything was, as close to what the actors wanted to do as possible. So by wearing multiple hats, it just gives you, you're just more involved. And that's what I've always wanted to be. That's what I always missed when I'm only acting in a project is, okay, this is my piece. And then bye-bye, like you can go, and I always wanted to stay. And so that's what I really get to do as a producer actor, is that no one can tell me to leave. I get to be there the entire time and help make sure that everything is going as smooth as it possibly can.
Amazing. Now let's talk about the story. I actually spoke to Mickey Reese prior to this interview, and I told him that I grew up I have a religious background. I grew up Catholic. We went to church every Sunday. I'm a big fan of movies that like combine religious elements with horror. So for you, I think I read somewhere that you have the same kind of upbringing in church. So talk about like from conception to production, like what drew you to this type of material?
Mm-hmm. Yes, grew up very religious. My mother was a Seventh-day Adventist, and my father is a Catholic. So I went to church on Saturdays and Sundays. And it was very split because even though both of those religions are Christian, they couldn't really be more different from each other. And also it was, I went to church with my mom and I went to church with my dad. We didn't all go together. So even within the home, there was, it was really difficult because it felt very split. And then when I started to, grow up and become aware and started to deal with, my own dramas and tragedies, I was never met with actual compassion, which is what the church always says it's going to give you. But when the rubber meets the road, you don't actually get. You're just kind of prescribed the same thing, pray about it. Everything happens for a reason. And I just completely rejected that. And so, all these years later, when we had started this production company and we read Agnes, I just really felt that I could put all of those feelings of, being tricked, of not being listened to, of my hatred of the patriarchy. I could throw it all into this character of Mary and into this movie. Like it was really a passion project for me.
I love it. How many years did it take? From beginning to end? How many years did it take
Oh,
to accomplish?
it did not take long at all. I think we might have read the script like fall of 2019, January 2020. We shot the film. We finished right before COVID and lockdown, and that was traumatic and crazy and scary. So we, edited the film while we were all in lockdown.
Yeah.
Mickey in Oklahoma and us in LA. So it didn't really, in the grand scheme of a film, it hasn't taken that long at all.
I love that. Now, with that being said, I have a very filmmaker-y kind of question for those who are listening who want to make their own independent horror film. So what is something that you can, that's, I guess, a practical tip you can give to somebody who, hey, I have a horror film idea. I want to make it myself. I have this amount of time to do it. Like for you folks, it was like you read like a month before like actually shooting it. So like what was that like, and what experience can you give to a new filmmaker?
I think to new filmmakers, I would say that's great. Get your friends together and make it.
Yeah.
Just make it. And I think people can get kind of, deflated when they make their first movie and it doesn't turn out as great as they thought it would be. But the truth to making art is that it's not always great your first time. You learn through the process. So just keep making, keep your friends close, be open to new experiences and the journey of the script. We, myself, the other actors, John Salvage, we were all rewriting the script every day as we were shooting, not because it wasn't good, but because things were coming up and we had ways to make it better. So don't be so, it's funny, have a vision, but let it be organic. Don't get so locked in that it stops you from making it.
I love that. And now I have a little bit of time left, so I would love to know, if you can, in a sentence or two, why should folks check out Agnes in theaters or on demand on December 10th?
I think people should watch Agnes because you're going to get something fun and scary and a little different from other horror movies that you've seen. That's why I think people should watch it.
Love that. Molly, thank you so much for your time today. Before we go, is there an official site you would like to share? Maybe social media pages that you can give us to share with the audience?
Sure. Molly Quinn 93 on Twitter and Molly Caitlin Quinn on Instagram. I'm very silly, so I hope if you do follow on social media, you find it entertaining.
I'm sure we will. Thank you so much, Molly.
Bye.